Oh my gosh. After a life of chronic pain, addiction, and literally jumping off a cliff, this real estate mogul was finally left to figure out life. She didn't accept the doctor's prognosis that she would just have to live with the pain. Who's heard that out there? Like, we can't do anything more for you. You're just going to have to deal with it. So she put her mind and her research talents to work so that she could discover another way and figure out how to live life without pain. Now she's sharing her life, her story, and her newfound talents with the world. And man, oh man, I cannot wait for you to meet my friend Jenny today. She's unbelievably brilliant with what she does and how she can impact your life and how it will change forever after you experience her is off the charts, people. Oh my gosh. If you are joining us from any other platform, one, thank you. But two, if you're on another platform other than the Erin Strayer Show, go ahead and click the link right above you. Come on over here. Say hello to us. We'll make sure to shout you out, say hello to you. And we really appreciate that you're here. If you're watching the replay, catching it on that, #replay, let us know that too. We really appreciate you there. This show is all about promoting, cultivating, and expanding amazing female entrepreneurs that are out there in the world doing things just a little bit differently. We talk about hot topics and pain points. We're going to talk about a lot about that today. And we give you workarounds to the challenges that we face daily. And oh my gosh, the challenges that this lady has overcome are off the charts. Who am I? I'm Erin Strayer, and recovering corporates and entrepreneurs hire me to get them business beyond the basics because most of them are indecisive. They're held hostage by their own fear, and honestly, they are flat out complacent and have settled with average. Who needs average? I don't need average. So I help them move past that. I can't do that. What's my next step? Who in the world do I talk to about that? What are my resources? Those things that are standing in their way, I help them move past that. And bottom line, I provide executive level accountability so that you and your business gets the attention to detail it deserves and you start excelling in your business and making money. Oh my gosh, I am going to bring Miss Jenny Harkleroad up and we are going to say hello. Hello.
Hey, good morning. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Good morning. And you're just so stinking lovely. Oh my God.
Thank you.
So lovely. I'm going to let you introduce yourself to the people.
Okay, awesome. My name is Jenny Harkleroad. I am the owner of Balanced You, and I'm so excited to be on Erin's show today to talk about the power of the mind and how you can transform any pain in your life with the power of your mind. So thank you for having me today. I'm so excited about this.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, it's off the charts and it's amazing. I'm getting a little feedback here, so I'm going to adjust here.
Okay.
Massive lifelong chronic pain for you.
Yeah.
Like, even from a little girl.
You know, I was always in the nurse's office in elementary school, always there. And in middle school, I got some prescription painkillers prescribed to me. So, you know, it's almost as long as I can remember, a lot of chronic pain in my life. And, you know, some things were diagnosed, other things we're not quite sure, take this pill, try this, do that. My parents were into natural stuff, so we tried all those things as well. And it was just, you know, I kind of learned to be like, okay, I'm going to be in pain every day. That's just kind of how my life is. So put on a happy face and press forward. And so sometime in my teenage years, I started taking ibuprofen instead of painkillers because it didn't have the side effects. And I was taking 30 ibuprofen a day. I would pack them in a little Ziploc in my lunch bag. I don't think anybody knew I was doing that. And I never read the back that you weren't supposed to do that. I was just like, you know, if I take that many, I feel pretty good. And, you know, that kind of wears on your system. And after a while, I started getting ulcers and actually went into liver failure. Mm-hmm. And so I had to knock that off. But then it was like the pain was so bad. Then I started having surgeries and, you know, it was just one thing after the next. And then there was the crazy, fateful day of August 10th, 2013. It was about 11:05 a.m. And I was hiking with family and friends at Mount Laguna, California. And my husband and I got to this rock ledge and he said, if I was young and in shape, I'd jump off of here. And I was like, I'm young and in shape. there I went, and Life Flight had to come get me. I couldn't get up. When I landed, I felt some crunch in my back, and I knew it was bad. And they told me at the hospital that I had broken my back. So when you break your back, you have some thinking time. And what I was thinking is I had created a very successful life. I had a big business here in San Diego. I was in the real estate business. I had a team of 5 buyer's agents and 2 full-time secretaries. We were producing double digits in the millions, and I had the houses and the cars and the travel and everything that goes along with it. But it took this thinking time for me to get real with myself. And the thing was, I had 3 secrets going on in my life. The first secret was I wasn't really that into what I was doing. I loved the money. I love people,
Sure.
but I wasn't really passionate about real estate. And every day I thought, imagine if you could just find something you loved and you were passionate about. Can you imagine that, instead of like, oh my gosh, I have to work again all day, every day, forever to keep up this lifestyle. So that was my first secret. My second secret was my marriage was going terribly, and I couldn't figure out how to fix it. And we were trying everything, books and prayers and counselors, and I mean, it was painful, right? If you've ever been in a relationship that's not going well, it hurts. And when it hurts for years and then decades, I mean, it wears on you, right? And I was like, we got to stay in it for the kids. We have 4 amazing kids who are my greatest claim to fame. They're now 21, 18, 15, and 12. And also our beliefs, we believe in family, and like this, we got to make this work, right? So that was my second secret. And my third was this chronic pain that nobody really knew about. I would, put on a happy face. I would tell myself in the mirror, I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm terrific. You're lying, but
doing all those affirmations to make it work.
Make it happen.
Sticky notes everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So, I was like in bed with a broken back, can't fake that I'm not hurting anymore, right? And how do I fix this stuff in my life? I really want to change it. Well, I wish I could say I quickly figured it out. Oh no. Years. Oh my gosh. So my back, it wouldn't get better. And it just hurt, and it hurt worse, and the pain just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And I was taking prescription painkillers, and I was seeing specialists like every day, massage or chiropractor or acupuncture, physical therapy or something. Somebody help me. And the doctors, they're like, I don't know what to do. And I decided we have to have major surgery. Like, surgery's fixed me before.
It'll fix me again.
It'll fix me again, right? Yeah, exactly. So the first doctor said, nah, it's too risky. I don't want to do it. I don't really see anything too crazy in there. So I said, next, give me a surgeon who will do it. Of course, someone signed up, right? So I had the surgery. They put in rods, screws, synthetic disc. Didn't help, right? So now I'm on a walker, all stitched up, metal in my back, still burning pain. 7 months later, I can't even sit down still. Wow. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, what are we going to do? And the doctors say, well, you're probably just going to have to learn to live with this pain. I said, no,
you haven't heard that. Like, you ever heard that? Yeah, you're just going to have to live with it. I've heard it.
Yeah, no, I'm not. So I found this 88, he was 86 then, 86-year-old medical doctor here in my own town, medical doctor turned kinesiologist. And he said, I can tap into your subconscious mind and see what's causing your pain and transform it. And I said, that is weird and freaky.
I didn't sign up for a whack doctor.
And he started doing these tests with me, muscle tests, and telling me that all my pain was emotional. And I thought he was crazy. And I might have told him that. And he might have told me, well, there's the door, and I said, no, okay, do your crazy stuff on me. And what I learned is it really wasn't crazy, it was science, but it seemed crazy to me because I didn't understand it at the time. 6 sessions later, I'm completely pain-free. Not only can I sit in a chair, I'm doing back bends and yoga. I mean,
I've seen pictures of that.
How did that happen? And it fascinated me. And so I started studying the power of the mind and how your mind, the pain in your mind, many times is just a pain pattern, a pain loop, a cause by a person, a situation, event, a trauma, a message your system is trying to tell you, all these things, I had no clue. I just thought my back hurts, something's still wrong with my back. And so I jumped into the study of the mind. I sold my real estate business. I sold my big house, moved into one of our rentals, and started over with this obsession I have about the power of the mind, because not only did I get rid of my pain, then I fixed my marriage, and it took me a weekend. Did you hear what I said? It took me a weekend to fix my marriage when I had been struggling for 20 years with it, trying to figure out answers.
I got goosies all over me. Like seriously, like you need to take a pause for just a second.
Right.
Just take a pause for a second, because, okay, 6 sessions with this guy that was whack, and there's the door, right? With a different way of thinking, and some science behind it. And for you to be open to receive a different way of thinking, a workaround, right? Come at it from a different angle.
I was desperate. I had to.
Right. At that point, you're massively desperate. You're like, hey, I've tried every single thing else that you've put in front of me. What's another doctor? What's another $100? What's another drug that I need to try for the next 12 days that's not going to work? I'll try this too. Okay, bring it on. Right? Like,
exactly.
Something's got to shift and change. Okay, that's one massive thing. One weekend. And your failing marriage of over 20 years. That you just can't bear to leave, but you can't bear to stay either.
Well, I was at the point that I was leaving. I mean, I was there.
It was there.
And that I went to a 3-day workshop to learn more about mind reprogramming, and we practiced with each other mind reprogramming. I come home, I open the door, I look at my husband, and I feel in love with him. And I'm like, what? Wait a second. I just reprogrammed myself. I didn't reprogram my marriage. I didn't reprogram him, because clearly it was all his fault.
Clearly.
Right? It was all him. Maybe it wasn't, because I'm now reprogrammed and all the problems have disappeared. Fascinating. It's, we have this lens, we have this subconscious filter through which we see life and all of our experiences. And when somebody says something to us, how we respond to it is based on our filters. And so I had this past of pain, physical pain, but also a lot of emotional pain from my growing up. And so it was like I was already this open bleeding wound, right? And he would just a little sprinkle of salt, not because he was trying to put salt, it was because I perceived it as salt. And then because I was an open bleeding wound, it was like, oh, how dare you, right? And what he did was like nothing, right? I mean, it was ridiculous. I mean, I almost left over nothing. I almost broke up a family over nothing. It was all my own perception and all my own past wounds and traumas that were healed in 3 days at this class that I took. And it's been beautiful ever since. Amazing. Miraculous.
So powerful. So powerful. So I want to dive into this a little bit, because you hit on a physical thing and you hit on an emotional thing. And what I'm getting is that your pain, right? Like, we know that we have emotional pain. But unless you I don't know. Like, how many people?
Well, you know what? I didn't think I had emotional pain, because I literally blocked it off for myself. I didn't want to feel it. And so I just, if it was painful, I'm not going to think about it. And I'm happy, healthy, and terrific. So, for him to tell me I had emotional pain, this doctor, I was like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. But then he said, tell me about your childhood. And I said, I don't talk about that. And he said, why not? I thought you didn't have emotional pain. I said, I don't, but I just don't talk about it. And he said, well, tell me about your marriage. And I said, no, I don't. And he said, but I thought you didn't have emotional pain. I said, I don't. I just don't talk about it. I mean, I was
blocked. Like, you had this cement wall up there. Like, your filter wasn't just dirty, was it? Like, you had like cement on your filter.
Yes.
Holy cow. So I really want to make that point that pain isn't just physical.
Yeah. Yeah, Dr. John Sarno, he studied this principle and he helped over 9,000 chronic pain patients become pain-free over 25 years. And here's what he found. As a subconscious emotion starts to come to consciousness, our system, for whatever reason, doesn't want that to happen and it blocks it. Here's how it blocks it. It sends ischemia, a lack of blood supply to a certain part of the body, usually an injured part. Isn't that smart? Right?
Oh, it's already below standard.
Right. And lack of blood supply doesn't cause damage, it causes pain. Okay. So then you go, what is wrong with my back? And your focus shifts from emotions that are coming to surface to, I got to take care of this pain. I need to make an appointment with the doctor. I wonder what I did to myself. And now the doctor says maybe physical therapy or try this pill or, and it shifts your focus. And so what he taught these chronic pain patients to do, he said, actually, your pain is something's bubbling up, coming to surface. Allow it to come to the surface. Ask yourself, what was painful in the past? What's painful right now? What's coming up that's scary or painful? It could even be something extremely good, extremely exciting. It's like our system wants to kind of put a cap on that. Now, people experience this at a different level. I would say I'm extreme like this, and some people are not as much. So people that are like kind of the perfectionist personalities have this more, right? They don't want to deal with this stuff. And then it causes tension, stress, anxiety, depression, pain, right? It's like all this stuff that's boiling inside. And so he taught these people, and about 20% of them can overcome pain just by understanding this process, believing it, and asking themselves that question. I have the perfect example. The other day I'm on a walk, and where I live, there's hills everywhere, which is great exercise, right? I don't have to walk that far because it's very steep. I'm walking up this really steep hill, and all of a sudden my knee starts hurting. And I go, silly me, I wonder what's wrong with my knee. And then I laugh out loud because I know the power of the mind. And I'm like, I wonder what emotion is coming up. I think about it for a minute. I think it's something. And then the pain just like, whoop, it was gone. I'm like, this is so fascinating, right? Deal with the problem. And when the problem comes to surface, what you want to ask yourself is, how would I rather feel about this thing?
Oh, boom. Somebody write that in the comments. How would I rather feel?
Yeah. How would I rather feel? So my son is driving me insane. How would I rather feel? My client is, whatever, my bank account, whatever it is, how would I rather feel about it? Acceptance, understanding, forgiving, peace, right? And kind of settle into that feeling instead. And then if you can't, then you call somebody like us who can program that feeling into your subconscious mind. That's what we do at Balanced You. We reprogram the subconscious mind. Our process opens the brain bridge. It's called the corpus callosum, takes both sides of the brain, puts them together, builds new neural pathways so that your perception is changed. How you think is changed and how you react is changed. And it actually changes your chemistry and your biology from the inside out. It's a study about the genetics. It's fascinating, fascinating.
I'm so intrigued because clearly I have a medical background, right? Like, that.
Yes.
And this just lights me up, like this other way of thinking and the connecting, like the neural pathways is not my forte. Like you want to talk cardiac, I'll talk that all day long with you.
Yeah.
But the neuro and the synapses and how those nerves travel through your meridians in your body, right? Like, and on those, the neural pathways and the meridians and how those all connect is super, super fascinating. And like, I'm intrigued. Like, I'm super intrigued. I know I'm on your schedule Monday, but it seems like a really, really long ways to wait for Monday, right? So like this whole reprogramming of your mind, is it immediate?
Yes.
Like,
it's immediate.
How does this all work? Like,
it's immediate. And I'm going to backtrack just for a minute because I thought of a great story I want to tell you first, and then I'm going to come back to how quick it is. So here's what I want to tell you. There's a clinical neuroscientist in Australia. He's walking through the bush one day, and he notices something brush up against his left leg. And he does a little skip hop, and, a signal goes up his spinal cord to his brain saying, something touched your leg. And he says, yeah, I'm walking through the bush. It's probably fine. It's probably a twig or something. Well, then he passes out. He wakes up in the hospital. They tell him, you're lucky to be alive. You've been bitten by a poisonous eastern brown snake. A year later, he's walking through the bush. Something touches his left leg. He loses his mind, screaming. He thinks he's dying. The pain is just outrageous. His friend, his mate, they're in Australia, rolls up his pant leg and says, you have been bitten by a twig. It's nothing. It's nothing. And so what happened was he had this pain pattern, he had this trauma, he had this memory in his subconscious that told him, when you're walking through the bush and something gets your left leg, you are going to die, right? And so he had this pattern in his head. And he says that pain is actually an illusion. It's a function of the brain to warn us. He says your tissues don't actually hurt. When you cut your hand, it's a message from the brain. It's not actually hurting right here where you got the injury. He says that in America, we spend $40 billion a year on pain relief. And in Australia, they spend more on pain than cardiovascular disease, which is why you made me think of this story, cancer and diabetes combined. Is that 40 billion.
With a B. $40 billion a year on pain relief.
Right.
That makes me sick.
It is. It's sickening the amount of money, but it's also sickening the amount of people suffering, right? Oh my gosh. I mean, how does it feel to be in pain? It hurts.
All the time.
And if it never stops, oh my gosh, it's depressing and it's agonizing and it's like.
And then your self-worth goes, your self-confidence is in the toilet. You can't function right. You show up late for work. You're not even checked in. You're not connected with your family, your spouse, your friends, anything, because you hurt all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So this chronic pain, whether it's from past injuries, migraines, like I know migraines like really are a hindrance to so many people.
Absolutely.
Whether they're food related or environment related, right? Allergies is another thing that just drives people to misery. Are allergies. Are these the top things that you see all the time?
Absolutely.
I'm just guessing. I'm just going up maybe off of personal here. I don't know.
Back pain is huge. So many people with back pain, neck pain, tight shoulders, bad knees, all that kind of stuff.
I don't think too, even if you were in just a little fender bender, one time, your muscles have memory of that.
Exactly.
Just like the twig, right?
Exactly. The subconscious is timeless. So it just keeps running that story over and over again. If you were in a car accident, the minute of that accident, how you felt, all that stuff, it's live in the subconscious mind forever. And it creates that stress and trauma in the body forever unless you reprogram it. And we can do that in minutes. Again, how would you rather feel about that accident? Peace, calm,
right?
Forgiveness, acceptance.
Right.
What do you want to change your perception to instead of trauma? What do you want to change it to? And then the whole system just and then my clients tell me I never realized I even was carrying that around. It was just always. So I just was used to that feeling it was I was chained down and now I'm not. It's fascinating. Yeah.
So you've written an entire book about your journey.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. Do you have it? And the crowd goes, wow!
It's funny when you say entire book because it's really not that long. It's 100 pages. It's quick. I mean,
it is an entire book.
It is an entire book, a short book.
It has a cover.
It does. It has a cover. But my goal is to help people realize that their pain may not be physical. And there's a way you can get out of it with reprogram your subconscious mind. And I love to share that with people. Just the realization is like a step on the path to healing. And if I can be any part of that for somebody, I'm so grateful, because man, you know, when I couldn't even sit down, what a miserable life. And, you know, last summer, my oldest daughter and I, we went backpacking across Europe. We were in Spain and Switzerland and Italy and England, even a short stint in Iceland. And, you know, heavy backpacks and planes and trains and all over the place, boats. And I mean, it was amazing. And to think back a few years ago that I couldn't even sit down, what a transformation. So if you are struggling, I highly encourage you to think about there may be a solution for you. You could change everything. And I'm so excited about that.
You know, it's really, really exciting. I know I got your book and I can't wait to read it. I got a little bit of a plane ride coming up here shortly because we get to see each other.
Yay, yes.
Yeah. But seriously, you guys, this book will change your world. The techniques, the thought processes, the way that Jenny comes at it, and the learning that she's done that comes into play in this, and it will change the way you live. And then if you get to experience Jenny and really get reprogrammed, like highly, highly, highly recommend that you do that, because we hang on to so much stuff. Like even if it was a comment from your second grade teacher.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely. I had a lady in here the other day in her 70s. She had a fourth grade teacher that said something to her that she was still upset about. And we reprogrammed it. And she was like, I'm free. I can like talk about it and not cry now after 50 something years. It's just 60 years.
And think about those comments are, you know, they stick around way longer than the bruises, right?
Yeah. The sticks and stones, whoever made that up. Yeah, not true.
But those comments, those undermining comments, and why we don't follow our dreams, right? Because somebody told us we couldn't, we shouldn't, we didn't. There wasn't enough money in that. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, when you're little, when you're like 0 to 7 years old, your subconscious mind is in a theta state, and it is being programmed. Everything you see, hear, experience becomes your program, whether you like it or not.
Yes.
And you've probably heard someone say, like, I was in an abusive relationship at home, and then I went out and I keep getting in those same relationships. Why? Because that is your programming. So that is what you attract to yourself. Your subconscious mind spends 95 to 99% of the time making your programming your reality. So if you don't like anything in your reality, all you got to do is reprogram the subconscious. Now, that doesn't mean positive affirmations or motivation, because that's just conscious mind, mindfulness work. That's not the powerhouse and the locomotive behind you and your accomplishments. That's the subconscious mind. So we reprogram the subconscious mind, and literally, like, anything you want can be yours if you believe it. And you believe it because of the power of your subconscious mind.
And
brilliant.
Schedule at balance.org.
Yes,
you have
absolutely.
People that work with you, they can schedule with you or anyone on your team.
Yes, and we work remotely. You don't have to be here with us in San Diego. If you want to, we'd love to have you here. If you're local, that's awesome, but the process works just as well online. We walk you through how to do it, and you're actually changing your own brain. So when you're all better and living the perfect, abundant life you want, pain-free, you can thank yourself, not us, because we just walk you through the process. You're actually changing yourself. It's beautiful.
Like, who doesn't want that? Like, seriously,
right?
This is January, people. We're still inside the 21 days when people quit their resolutions, right?
I know, absolutely.
So if you are at all inspired to change the way you currently function, live, exist, and be in this world, and you know that there's a different way, a better way, that your relationships could be stronger, right? Like your marriage wouldn't be just passing in the hallway.
I know.
That you have some kind of connection with your children beyond, hey, get dressed. Can you pick up your socks? What time is practice?
Right.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Your clients, right? Everybody that's watching this show has clients. Wouldn't you want to be more involved? Like, yes, you love what you do, but wouldn't you want to be more involved? How about your parents, right? And having a better relationship with your parents or your siblings.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
then like, let's take that to that next level. Like, let's get rid of the accident that happened in 1991 that still sticks around. And really, is that what the pain is from?
Yes. Yeah, it's true. It's fascinating to find out what the pain is from. And it's cute because my kids obviously take full advantage of my skills. And so I have 4 of them. So they're always calling me or at home. So 2 are gone at college and 2 are still at home. And it's like, sometimes they go, I want to know why, and then let's fix it. And sometimes they're like, I don't want to know why, let's just fix it. And it works either way. It's awesome. So I'm not a therapist. I'm not a priest. I don't need the backstory. I don't need any confessions, even though people love sharing them with me. I'm like, I did not need to know that.
That's too much, people.
All I need to know is how you'd rather have it. That's the thing, and sometimes that's such a hard question because people know the story and know what's going on and all the drama and the trauma of it. But it's like, how would you rather have it? And let's focus on that. And then let's describe that to the subconscious mind. The subconscious is sensory. So we got to describe that goal visually, auditorily, kinesthetically. What looks different in your life when you're pain-free? For me, it was travel. It was going out with my family and friends. It was going back to exercise. It was all these things that I used to love to do that I couldn't do anymore. And the next is auditory. What's going to sound different in your life? Like, what are people going to say? I mean, for me, they're like, where's your walker? Where's your back brace? Where's your crutches? Where's your chauffeur? Like, what is going on? How come you're doing handstands? This is amazing. What are they going to say to you? What are you going to say to yourself? Like, oh my gosh, glory, hallelujah. That's what I said.
And you're going to be able to get on your knees to thank that power above, right? And then get back up again.
And then think about how you're going to feel, when you're pain-free, when you're living the life you're dreaming of living, the life you're supposed to live, feeling I think you have a mission and a purpose. And when you're on that path, it's so exciting. Every day is a blessing. So how are you going to feel when life's like that? Wonderful, amazing, and really get into that feeling. All that stuff describes to the subconscious mind what you want to create. And then if you need help programming that into the subconscious mind, come see us. So breakingtobeme.com is a great way to get our book and to get on our calendar. So it's our Facebook Messenger bot. There's a little cartoon of me. And so if you type in breakingtobeme.com, you just scroll down and hit start. It'll take you into Facebook Messenger, and I'll give you 3 choices. Read the book, buy the book, or schedule a 30-minute complimentary phone call with myself or one of the facilitators. And we're going to talk about what's working in your life, what's not, what you want different, and how we can support you in transforming your life. Because that's what we like to see. And this is coming back to the question you asked me way long ago, which is, how fast does it work? And what a blessing it is every day for me in my office to see clients. We have a session, a week later, I call them to see the changes. And they're like, is this a setup? Like, how can it be this good, this fast? Like, did you call my husband? Did you call my boss? Did you talk to my kids? Like, no, it really is, because the subconscious, again, is that tidal wave, and you are just acting on your programming. And so if you program something into your subconscious mind, that's what's going to happen in your life. And so you're going to see it immediately. You're going to see it in the first week. You're going to see all the changes in your life. How powerful is that? It's like personal power. You have the power to change things. Instead of trying, you're going to program yourself to be how you want to be, how you were meant to be. Get rid of the junk that's keeping you from that, and live the life of your dreams. So
I love that. You guys, I know I have 100,000 more questions, but we have and I totally acknowledge we are over our time, and you have been so gracious to be here longer with us. I adore you. I cannot wait for my session Monday, and then that I get to see you and actually hug you on Friday.
Yay!
So, I know.
Awesome. I'm so excited.
And you guys, seriously, reach out to Jenny, download her book, schedule an appointment. This breakingtobeme.com is where you're going to get that. It'll take you everywhere you need to go to get in touch with Jenny and her team and her insight and her knowledge and her her reprogramming that she gets to do with you so that you live your best life ever going forward from this moment.
Woo! Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. You guys,
Thanks,
thank you so much for being here with us this afternoon. We're here every Tuesday and Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Jenny Harkleroad is our amazing, phenomenal guest that's been with us today, and I adore you. Thank you, love, for being here.
Thank you. All right.
All right.
See you, everyone.
everybody.
All right. Bye.